Watch me level up. Watch me level up. Watch me level up.
All right, so you ask, how do I think about my year? Oh, I think about it as a season, much like I think about as like a 142 minor league baseball season. I think this is like the same thing. It's just 365 days out of the year. Well, around July 4th is halftime. This is my mentality around halftime, is to fall back, take a week for myself, sprinkle in a little vacation, get some original thought time, and then come out of the gate, in the third quarter with some adjustments, with some second half adjustments. So Summit is that marker for us. We just had an amazing time at Summit. And Morgan and I went to Palmetto Bluff for a couple like peaceful, serene days before I was able to connect with some old friends, which for me, that's my release, is just to hang out with my college baseball buddies. You know, those are like my best friends in the world. So every year we have a little 2 or 3 day get together with them. And so the last week for me has really been my halftime. I have a lot of time to sit around by myself, original thought, make some adjustments for the next half of the year. And the one adjustment that I'm making is I'm kicking up my tenacity. You know, I've gotten into a place over the last few months as our organization is growing and shifting, where I need to grow and shift with the organization. I need to grow and shift with the ever-growing demands of me and my time, my team and their time, and empowering them to continue to move the ball forward, move the ball downfield in the third and fourth quarter. And so tenacity for me. One thing I'm going to do for sure is not just wake up at the same time 75% of the time at my 4:05 alarm clock. I'm going to wake up every time, and not just most of the time, because 75% is a C, and that's average, and I'm not here to be average. I don't think you're here to be average, or else you wouldn't be watching or listening to this. And for me, my one adjustment in halftime is every single day, Sunday through Sunday, when that alarm clock goes off, we get up. There's no negotiating. There's no contemplating. There's no pondering. There's no pressing snooze. When it goes off, boom, you're up. End of story. And that's one major adjustment that I know if I make that adjustment, I'm going to own every single day, not just most of my days. And owning every single day is how you succeed, especially in a competitive environment like we are here at Burn, where everyone is trying to be like us, or we're trying to catch the people in front of us. It's business is a sport. It's a very competitive environment. So I'm not up before the sun every day, taking that first 2 or 3 hours before any of my competitors or anyone else that's out there looking at Devan and looking at Morgan and looking at Burn Boot Camp and say, oh, that's super inspiring. I'm going to go kick their ass. There are people out there that are waking up every day right now wanting to kick my butt. So if I'm sleeping and they're working, I'm not getting the edge. I'm not making a good adjustment at halftime. So my halftime adjustment, get up at the same time every single day.
What does tenacity mean? You mentioned that a little bit. Can you go into detail?
Mm-hmm. I use the word tenacity a lot because I think it's a very powerful word. I think it's a very scary word for a lot of people. To be tenacious means that there's this relentless pursuit of something that you have a doubt about, right? And when you have a doubt about something, inevitably that means your self-esteem is lower than it could be. So to be tenacious, you have to overcome yourself. You have to overcome that low self-esteem or lower version of yourself than you're probably giving yourself credit for. So to me, tenacity means getting after it. It means doing what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. It means integrity. It means this relentless attitude, this belief that the work that I put in, although I don't necessarily know how to get to my vision, how to get to my outcome, tenacity also has a layer of certainty in it that says the work that I put in will manifest itself into the vision that I have, even though I don't know how to do it quite yet. And there's a lot of power in that. A lot of people are afraid to look at themselves in the mirror and find the gaps in their life, because those gaps are evidence of their inadequacies or the broken promises that they've made to themselves over time, and a lot of people don't want to look at those things. And I'm here to tell you right now that tenacity is born when you find the power in the gap from where you are to where you want to be, and not only find it and identify it and acknowledge it, but overemphasize it and take those issues those problems, those obstacles, and blow them up to make them a big deal in your life. So that way, the mountain peak that you're on isn't the one you're always going to stay on, right? It takes tenacity to go from, it takes belief and certainty to go from this mountain peak here to this one up here, and to cross that tightrope over the gap between the mountains in potentially falling off existentially is scary. So tenacity is scary. And I think without it, you have zero shot. You have no chance because it's controllable. It's your effort, really. If you're not trying hard, if you're not working hard, not only are there people that are smarter than you, but there's also people that are working harder than you. And to me, my work ethic is the thing that I pride myself in more than anything else, because it's the one thing that I can control that no one else has an influence on. My inner world's three things. It's attitude, it's belief, and it's effort. If I can control those three narratives, the way that I wake up every day at the same time and pursue my goals, my attitude, how am I positive, am I optimistic, am I kind, or am I waking up looking at everyone around me and pointing to them and saying it's all your fault, or you're an asshole, or these people are mean to me. Like, if you wake up every day and you're seeing that, well, then you need to look in the mirror, because it's probably you. And so I'm committed to lifelong tenacity. And when you do it for long enough, when you wake up with a positive, optimistic attitude and working as hard as you possibly can, and doing so with a belief in what you're doing, like a strong, deep belief in what you're doing, the important thing is when everyone else doesn't believe in you. That's the important thing. I've committed to this for life. So crossing the tightrope from mountain peak to mountain peak for me there's literally no fear in that anymore. It becomes a part of you when you do it over and over and over and over and over. But with that being said, the hardest thing to do is stop doing the things that you're doing yesterday. And if you can just stop doing the things that you know you shouldn't be doing today, that you did yesterday, that's just one step closer. And no matter, you could be at the bottom of the mountain. Like, no matter what, it's just one step closer up that mountain. So it's tenacity for me.
Nice. All right, last one. Out of inspire, empower, and transform, what resonates with you the most? Or how do all of those resonate with you?
Our tagline, inspire, empower, transform, all three of those words really resonate with me in a deep way. I would say that empower is the word that I believe has the most substance. I believe that there's an epidemic of low self-esteem, which is why largely you see the self-love movements bubbling up, but I think we largely have those wrong. It's good intention and poor execution. Self-love is not bubble baths and overindulging on fast food and calling it self-love because you don't want to make judgments of yourself. Self-love is intentionally raising your self-esteem, the esteem of yourself, the amount you love yourself. Everything's not okay, and that's okay. A lot of times, even in psychology, which is a craft that I study, they call me a practical psychologist. Even in the field of psychology, therapists, professionals, it's the MO. You're okay just the way you are. And you don't want to hear that. You're not satisfied by that answer. You're not satisfied when somebody tells you you're okay just the way you are, but inside your mind, your heart, your body, you're incongruent with what you say you're doing versus what you're actually doing is misaligned. And then now you're misaligned and you feel like somebody different in your head and your heart. That's not okay. There needs to be an evolution of what self-love really is. And bubble baths are great, but that's not going to fix your self-esteem. It's not going to fix your confidence. And so for me, empower means the act of like acting out confidence. Like you can do empowering things without having confidence yet. And the empowering things, when you do them, they force multiply to create confidence. And confidence is really what we're after, because low confidence is the root cause to low self-esteem. And the root cause to low confidence is saying you're going to do one thing and then doing something else, and having to deal with the internal and external repercussions of that. So when I think about empower, I think about a workout, 45 minutes every day, that a woman, a man can use as a tool, and that they might not have a lot of confidence today. They might not have a self-esteem level through the roof today, but they're one step closer. They're one step closer to being the fullest version of themselves, to being the happiest, most healthy version of themselves. And that's what we mean when we say maximize your quality of life through empowering workouts that inspire and motivate you and those around you every day, and create a community of people that me and my team seek to build education around, confidence and happiness and disciplines around all of the things that outside of the workout that make you a better person. Because we don't show up to the gym to get a six-pack. We don't show up to the gym to do push-ups or, throw a 10-pound dumbbell in between our feet and see how many pull-ups we can do. All those things are cool and empowering, but those are, the strength is a byproduct of who we're becoming. The physical strength is a byproduct of the psychological strength, the character, the determination, the relentlessness, the tenacity, all these things that people want to have, but then they don't believe they are. The gap, the tool, is that workout, that 45-minute workout where myself and my team show you how badass you really are, and then you start to believe it because you have so much belief in you. And fundamentally, I think that's what Burn Boot Camp is all about. 2 claps on 2, 1, 2.
Level up. Watch